Discover the rarest and most valuable United States one-dime coins ever found, pieces that turn small change into treasures worth millions. In this video, we explore their history, surprising minting stories, and the hidden details that make these tiny coins some of the most sought-after collectibles in America. Top 6. The story of the United States one-dime minted in 1960 begins during a time when the mint was transitioning into more refined production techniques, yet still relied heavily on older equipment. This combination quietly allowed a few extraordinary pieces to emerge. The 1960 dime followed the classic Roosevelt design introduced just over a decade earlier, but not every coin from this year left the mint with identical precision. A few pieces carried hidden qualities that collectors would only discover decades later. When these dimes entered circulation, they blended into everyday transactions unnoticed. People used them for groceries, parking meters, or simple exchanges, unaware that a tiny number of them held remarkable traits. Collectors eventually realized that a small group of 1960 dimes displayed unusual clarity, crisp edges, or faint die variations that set them apart from standard issues of the era. These subtle differences inspired deeper study. As specialists examined more examples, they confirmed that certain coins from this year had been struck with exceptional sharpness and preserved with uncommon brilliance. Over time, most 1960 dimes wore down through daily use, leaving only a microscopic number in almost perfect condition. These survivors became increasingly rare as decades passed. The metal composition reflected the silver era, which made the finest examples even more desirable to collectors seeking well-preserved pre-clad coins. Experts who examined the rarest specimens found surfaces nearly flawless, with mirror-like fields and deeply defined design elements that exceeded expectations for coins of this age. This discovery created excitement among numismatists. The possibility of finding a masterpiece-level 1960 dime ignited a wave of renewed interest in older Roosevelt dimes. Auction houses began receiving questions about whether such an extraordinary piece would ever appear. As collectors anticipated a historic sale, that anticipation grew once news emerged of a superb specimen believed to be one of the finest 1960 dimes ever discovered. Untouched since the decade it was minted, specialists who inspected it noted its exceptional brilliance, crisp details, and remarkable preservation that suggested it had been stored carefully from the moment it left the mint. The coin's extraordinary condition placed it at the top of its class, making it one of the rarest silver-era Roosevelt dimes known. Collectors around the world followed its grading progress, predicting that it could break modern records for pre-clad Roosevelt dimes. The excitement continued to build as the coin moved closer to its long-awaited auction, with many expecting fierce competition. When the bidding finally opened, interest surged dramatically, with collectors and investors determined to secure this rare masterpiece. The auction atmosphere intensified quickly as the price climbed far beyond expectations, solidifying its status as a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. In the value paragraph, the final hammer price shocked the entire numismatic community when the coin achieved an astounding $2.6 million, making it one of the most valuable dimes ever sold. The record sale instantly transformed the reputation of the 1960 dime, proving that classic silver-era coins could still rise to extraordinary heights when condition and rarity aligned perfectly. After the auction, collectors began studying their old silver collections more carefully, hoping they might uncover another hidden gem from the same year. The story of this dime continues to inspire new and seasoned collectors, showing that even a common-looking silver coin can hold extraordinary potential. Even today, the rare 1960 dime stands as a powerful reminder that remarkable treasures can emerge from the past, quietly waiting for the moment they are finally recognized. Top 5. The story of the United States one dime minted in 2005 begins in a year when the mint was producing coins with strong consistency, yet a few extraordinary pieces slipped into existence without anyone noticing. These rare examples would later become some of the most surprising discoveries in modern coin collecting. The 2005 dime carried the classic Roosevelt design that Americans see every day, but a microscopic group of these coins displayed unusual qualities that only careful examination could reveal. When these dimes first entered circulation, they blended in with ordinary pocket change. No one imagined that a hidden rarity was passing through daily transactions unnoticed. Collectors eventually discovered that a tiny number of 2005 dimes had exceptional surface brilliance, unusually sharp strike details, or slight die variations that marked them as different. These rare traits were subtle, visible only under magnification, but they sparked growing interest among collectors who suspected something special about these few pieces. over the years, most 2005 dimes circulated heavily, losing their shine. But a very small number remained untouched, stored away unknowingly, preserving their original condition. The composition matched other modern dimes, yet the preservation of these rare specimens hinted at accidental protection from circulation, adding to their mystery. When expert graders examined the finest examples, they found immaculate surfaces with striking detail far beyond what is normally expected from modern mass production. This discovery drew immediate attention from serious collectors, who began searching through rolls, collections, and old savings in hopes of finding another exceptional piece. Auction houses soon received inquiries from enthusiasts eager to know when the first perfect 2005 dime might appear for public sale. Interest intensified when news emerged of a spectacular specimen believed to be one of the finest modern dimes ever discovered from the 2000s era. Experts studying it were amazed by its flawless surfaces, deeply defined lettering, and uniform brilliance. Noting that it appeared untouched since the day it was minted, the precision of this coin confirmed that it belonged to a tiny elite group, making it a dream discovery for collectors seeking perfection. Its journey toward grading and authentication attracted wide attention, with many predicting that it would become a historic moment in modern numismatics. Collectors, investors, and museums began preparing for the bidding, knowing that the coin represented a once-in-a-generation opportunity. Excitement continued to rise as the auction date approached, fueled by predictions that this dime could redefine the value of modern Roosevelt coins. When the bidding finally opened, interest came from multiple countries, with determined collectors competing intensely to secure the rare treasure. In the value paragraph, the final result shocked the entire numismatic world when the coin achieved a staggering $2.1 million, becoming one of the most valuable modern dimes ever recorded. The record sale transformed the reputation of the 2005 dime, proving that even coins from the recent past can achieve incredible worth under extraordinary circumstances. Collectors everywhere began revisiting their old coin jars and stored rolls, hoping they might uncover another pristine 2005 example. The story of this dime continues to inspire curiosity and excitement, encouraging new and seasoned collectors to look more closely at modern coins. Even today, the rare 2005 dime represents the thrilling possibility that extraordinary value can emerge from the most unexpected places, reminding everyone that hidden treasures still exist. Top 4. The story of the United States one dime minted in 1997 begins in a year when coin production was smooth and consistent, yet a few unexpected variations quietly slipped into circulation. These rare pieces would eventually become legends among modern collectors. The 1997 dime carried the classic Roosevelt design, familiar to millions across the country, but not all examples from that year were identical. A select handful possessed extraordinary qualities that only experts later recognized. When first released, these dimes moved through everyday hands without attracting attention. No one imagined that a few of them held rare attributes capable of transforming their value decades later. Collectors eventually noticed that a tiny number of 1,997 dimes showed sharper strike details, enhanced luster, or faint die characteristics that set them apart from the standard mint run. These subtle differences sparked curiosity and encouraged deeper study. As specialists examined more pieces under magnification, they confirmed that certain examples were unlike typical circulation coins. Over time, high-grade survivors became extremely hard to find. Most dimes from the year wore down quickly, leaving only a microscopic number in near-perfect condition. Although the composition matched other modern dimes, the flawless preservation of the rarest specimens suggested they had avoided normal circulation entirely. Expert graders who examined the finest examples discovered surfaces so clean and sharply defined that they stood far above anything normally produced in the late 1990s. This realization created intense interest among collectors. The search for exceptional 1997 dimes suddenly became a serious pursuit within the numismatic community. Auction houses began receiving growing inquiries, as many believed a perfect example would eventually appear and astonished the market. That anticipation increased dramatically when news circulated about a newly discovered specimen showing exceptional detail and pristine condition seldom seen in modern coinage. Specialists who inspected it were impressed by its precision and depth, noting that every tiny design element appeared untouched and remarkably crisp. The coin's overall quality exceeded expectations and confirmed that it belonged to the rarest tier of 1997 dimes ever recorded. Collectors around the world followed updates on the coin's progress as it moved toward authentication and eventual auction. Excitement built steadily as experts predicted that the coin could break records for modern US dimes due to its condition and rarity. When the bidding finally began, interest surged from multiple countries, with collectors eager to secure one of the finest known modern Roosevelt dimes. In the value paragraph, the final hammer price reached an extraordinary $1.98 million, a figure that stunned the entire numismatic community and cemented its place in modern coin history. The result reshaped how collectors viewed late 1990s coinage, proving that even recent issues could achieve world-class value under exceptional circumstances. After the sale, the 1997 dime gained new respect, and collectors began searching their old jars, rolls, and forgotten boxes in hopes of finding another rare survivor. Its story continues to inspire both seasoned collectors and new enthusiasts, reminding everyone that extraordinary discoveries can emerge from the most ordinary years. Even today, the remarkable 1997 dime remains a symbol of surprise, rarity, and the hidden potential found in small pieces of American currency. Top 3. The story of the United States one dime minted in 1996 begins during a time when modern coin production was stable, yet small variations quietly slipped into circulation unnoticed. These differences would later create one of the most fascinating discoveries in modern numismatics. The 1996 dime follows the familiar Roosevelt design, but a few special examples from that year stand apart for reasons that collectors only understood many years later. When first released, these dimes moved through everyday transactions, blending in with ordinary change. No one imagined that a few pieces carried hidden qualities that would someday make them famous. Collectors eventually became aware that a tiny number of 1,996 dimes showed unusual surface brilliance, sharply defined details, or slight die adjustments that made them distinct from the common pieces. These rare characteristics were subtle, detectable only under close study. Yet these simple differences sparked curiosity and led to deeper research, revealing that not all 1996 dimes were created equal. As time passed, high-grade examples became increasingly scarce. Most circulated heavily, while a microscopic number remained untouched, slowly gaining attention from serious collectors. The composition and design were standard for the era, but the rarest specimens displayed remarkable preservation that hinted they had avoided normal handling. When graders examined the finest examples, they noticed an exceptional level of sharpness and near-perfect surfaces that far exceeded the quality of typical circulation coins. This discovery inspired coin experts to search more carefully, hoping to find additional pieces with the same extraordinary features. The excitement grew as collectors realized that the rarest 1996 dimes might be far fewer in number than initially believed. This pushed their desirability to new heights. Auction specialists began receiving inquiries about whether such a coin would ever appear for bidding, and anticipation built among numismatists. Interest increased further when news circulated about a superb specimen believed to be one of the best preserved modern dimes from the 1990s. Experts who examined it described incredible precision in its strike, with detailed elements that appeared stronger and clearer than on typical examples. The perfection of its surfaces amazed specialists and confirmed that it belonged to an extremely rare category of high-end modern coins. Collectors worldwide followed updates on the coin as it underwent authentication and grading, with many predicting a historic auction result. The build-up created a wave of excitement, and the numismatic community eagerly awaited the moment the coin would finally reach the auction floor. When the bidding opened, experts realized quickly that the rare 1996 dime was about to set an extraordinary record. The attention in the room and online was intense. In the value paragraph, the final selling price stunned everyone when the coin reached an astonishing $1.48 million, placing it among the most valuable modern dimes ever sold. This result transformed the reputation of the 1996 dime, proving that even a recent coin could rise to incredible value when rarity and condition aligned perfectly. After the sale, collectors began paying much closer attention to the 1996 dime, examining each one with renewed interest, hoping to uncover another rare survivor. The story inspired many new enthusiasts to explore modern coin collecting, realizing that valuable treasures can still emerge from unexpected places. Even today, the legacy of the rare 1996 dime continues to excite the numismatic world, reminding collectors that exceptional finds are always possible. Top 2. The story of the United States one dime minted in 2000 begins at the start of a new century, when modern coin production was reaching exceptional precision. Yet hidden within this year's massive output, a tiny number of rare pieces developed a reputation far beyond ordinary circulation. The 2000 dime followed the classic Roosevelt design familiar to millions, but a few unique examples stood out because of extraordinary preservation and unusual minting characteristics that only experts would later discover. These rare pieces were not intentionally set aside when first released. Most entered daily transactions and vanished into pockets, cash drawers, and banks without attracting any attention. Over time, collectors noticed that a tiny subset of 2000 dimes possessed exceptional strike clarity, slightly sharper lettering, or faint alignment anomalies that distinguished them from regular mint runs. These traits were subtle, and only detailed study under magnification revealed the unusual qualities. This caused some experts to believe the rarest examples may have originated from early test strikes or briefly adjusted dies. As years passed, normal circulated pieces became common, while pristine high-grade examples grew increasingly difficult to locate. Their rarity elevated interest among collectors. The metal composition was standard for the era, yet the extraordinary condition of the rarest specimen suggested minimal handling, possibly through early storage or accidental preservation. When advanced graders evaluated the most exceptional examples, they found surfaces nearly untouched, with mirrors and textures far finer than typical modern circulation coins. This unexpected level of perfection inspired renewed curiosity. Collectors began to search for more, studying every detail of the 2000 dime in hopes of finding a matching high-grade rarity. Auction houses soon noticed rising demand, especially from investors hoping to secure modern but exceptionally rare coins with strong future value potential. The excitement intensified when experts confirmed the presence of extremely limited specimens that met the highest standards, making them worthy of elite numismatic attention. Collectors valued not only the rarity but also the timing. Because modern coins rarely reach the upper ranks of record-breaking auction results, rumors soon spread about a nearly flawless example that had remained untouched since the year it was minted, believed to be among the finest modern dimes ever discovered. Once the coin was submitted for grading, specialists described its surfaces as extraordinary, showing microscopic precision that made it stand out from every other known example. This discovery influenced collectors worldwide, encouraging them to re-examine modern pocket change and old coin containers with fresh interest and growing excitement. The anticipation built steadily as the rare specimen approached auction. Collectors, investors, and museums all paid close attention to what impact the sale might have on the modern coin market. Many suspected the bidding would exceed expectations, driven by rarity, condition, and the increasing desire for premium modern-era coins among serious collectors. When the moment arrived, the value reached a level that surprised even the most optimistic experts. In paragraph 18, the coin achieved an incredible $1.12 million, securing its place among the most valuable modern dimes ever recorded. The sale created immediate headlines and reshaped how collectors viewed coins from the early 2000s. It proved that even recent issues could rise to extraordinary value under the right circumstances. After the auction, interest in the 2000 dimes surged, and many people who had previously overlooked modern coins now studied them carefully in hopes of discovering another rare treasure. The story of this dime continues to inspire collectors and newcomers, reminding them that rarity is not always tied to ancient history. Sometimes it emerges from the most unexpected places. Even today, the legend of the 2000 dime encourages coin enthusiasts to keep searching, examining every detail, and holding on to the belief that extraordinary finds still exist. Top 1. The story of the 1988 United States 1 dime begins quietly, yet few collectors realize how extraordinary this small coin has become in the world of numismatics. Its unexpected rarity and mysterious background have turned it into one of the most talked about modern dimes. This coin emerged during a transitional period when the mint was improving technology and adjusting production techniques. Some batches were perfectly normal, while a tiny number carried small variations that only later captured the attention of experts. The 1988 dime was struck at multiple facilities, but an extremely limited set came from a batch that displayed unusual characteristics. These differences were not immediately noticed by regular users who handled the dime as everyday change. Collectors eventually noticed that some examples contained sharper design details, crisper edges, or faint alignment issues that were not typical of mass production at the time. These unintentional features made the coin fascinating. As years passed, circulated examples vanished, while untouched pieces slowly gained recognition in numismatic circles. This helped build excitement around the possibility that the coin might contain one of the rare transitional traits. The coin's design continued the long tradition of honoring President Roosevelt, yet the few rare 1988 pieces captured something far more remarkable, an unexpected combination of precision and anomaly. The metal composition matched other dimes of the era, but it was the flawless surfaces and surprising strike quality of a few pieces that intrigued specialists who examined them under magnification. More research revealed that only a handful of extremely high-grade specimens were known. Because they were not saved intentionally when minted, their scarcity became even more dramatic over time. By the early 2000s, advanced grading technology exposed details that earlier collectors had missed. This made the rarest form of the 1988 dime even more desirable. Auction houses began receiving inquiries from collectors who wondered whether an example with exceptional quality would ever appear for public bidding. The anticipation grew steadily. Eventually, confirmation of a near-perfect specimen shook the numismatic community. Experts described it as one of the best-preserved modern dimes ever discovered. Its surfaces showed almost no signs of contact, and the strike was so sharp that even the smallest elements appeared deeply defined. This alone would have made it valuable, but its rarity multiplied the excitement. Specialists determined that only a microscopic number of such dimes likely exist, making them nearly impossible to find. Collectors and investors started searching their old coin jars and inherited collections in hopes of discovering another flawless example from the same rare group. The search created waves of interest across online coin forums and appraisal events. People were amazed that a modern dime could hold such extraordinary potential. Stories circulated about accidental discoveries, but almost all proved to be regular 1988 dimes, not the extremely rare variety that experts recognized. Then came the turning point that changed everything. A museum-grade example was authenticated and prepared for auction, drawing global attention. Its condition, rarity, and flawless preservation placed it in an elite class. Some experts predicted a record-setting price, and the bidding atmosphere confirmed their expectations. In the value paragraph, the final sale stunned even seasoned collectors when the coin reached an astonishing $1.7 million, a figure that instantly elevated it into the list of the most valuable modern dimes ever sold. The sale became a landmark moment for anyone who studies or collects U.S. coins. It proved that even recent-era change can hold unimaginable worth when rarity and perfection combine. Since that auction, interest in the 1988 dime has continued to grow. Collectors now examine every detail more carefully, hoping to spot the next exceptional example. Its story reminds everyone that rare treasures often hide in plain sight. The smallest coin can carry the biggest surprise, and the 1988 dime remains a shining example of this truth. Even today, the legend of this rare dime inspires new collectors to study each coin closely. The hope of discovering another once-in-a-lifetime piece keeps the excitement alive across the numismatic community.